Hi everybody. I know I'm standing between you and the pizza, so I'm going to whiz through. I've got 23 slides and 20 minutes, and I'm going to try and do it in 18. If anybody wants to start timing, get going now. Okay, so basically, I'm not going to talk about tools or technology or people or processes. You're all sitting there and you're going, I want continuous delivery and I want to install Go and I want to install Jenkins and all these fantastic things. Unfortunately, you work for a boss and he's probably a psychopath. And all he really gives a shit about is making money and going up the corporate ladder and all those sorts of good things. If your boss is not a psychopath, fantastic, you're very lucky. You've clearly never worked in an investment bank in the City of London. So the question is that how can you convince your boss to give you the money in order to do this? So what you have to do is you have to demonstrate business value. Okay, so you have to either scare him that his business is going to tank, or show him that by doing this he's going to make much more money, because there's the only two things that he really cares about. He cares about losing money or making money. So the question is why do we need to go faster to survive? So basically the answer to this is that what we're in a situation at the moment is we're seeing an evolution. We've got an evolution of hosting. We've gone from hosting it on-premise into colo, into managed services, into cloud, and now you're seeing the evolution of managed cloud, as Rackspace call it, or an application management provider, as DevOps guys call it, because that's what DevOps is. So the ultimate expression of a managed cloud is the DevOps guy. So that's us. So, but Agile has also undergone, and software development itself has undergone an evolution. And I'd like to claim credit for this slide, but I don't, and I don't even have a reference for it. It's so long ago since I actually found it. But if you see at the bottom there, you've got agile development, moving up into continuous integration, moving up into continuous delivery, moving up into DevOps. And as you're going along, you're expanding along the software development lifecycle. And there's two axes here. One is collaboration and value. So as you go up, you're increasing the value, and you're also increasing the importance of collaboration, which was something that was stressed very strongly in the first two presentations tonight. So, why, we've got this evolution in hosting, we've got this evolution in software delivery. Why is everything getting faster? So, the processes, and particularly in the operations space, I'm an infrastructure and operations manager. I've been doing that for 25 years. I started back when ITIL, ITIL was the new thing on the block. I think ITIL was exciting and cool, and everybody wanted to do ITIL. The problem with ITIL, if any of you have ever, don't work in startups and actually use ITIL, is that they interpreted the need for incident management, problem management, change management, capacity planning, all of these roles and things that are discussed in the ITIL framework, they interpreted those as job descriptions. And the biggest problem was that they then created a huge number of silos, which is, anti the whole DevOps method. So that was the problem that we kind of had with ITIL, but it's been around, as is Prince 2, since 1989. So then it'll come along in 2001, we had the Agile Manifesto, and we started valuing, people over processes, and we started valuing collaboration and working software over plans. And then, we come along with the invention of cloud.
Windows.
Oh, did I knock the... Okay, hang on a second. Hello? Ad-lib it. I can ad-lib it. Hey. Yeah, normally in a Mac I'd be fumbling for 15 minutes to get the adapter to work. like every other Velocity presentation I've ever been at. So, thank you very much. I'm here all week. Okay, so we have the Amazon Web Services and the advent of cloud. So again, cloud, everything's spinning, it's going faster. Everything's going faster. You have all these guys from in the marketing department with their credit card are spinning up servers and thinking they know how to do web operations. So something we'll come on to later on. And then, the iPhone changed everything, and then suddenly we had to sort of start supporting devices, and we had to be pushing out software updates to devices, and everybody wanted stuff on their iPhones, and they wanted mobile, and there was another whole area that had to come in. And then, we had, Chef and DevOps days and the whole DevOps movement kicking off. And then in 2014, you know, IBM, CA, and HP invent DevOps because it's now the hottest topic, you know, and that's pretty much straight from certainly in the IBM case, you know, discussion with a rational product manager was saying, you know, how important is DevOps to IBM in 2014? And the guy's answer was everything. That's how important these guys are taking DevOps. DevOps is not just a root, you know, a grassroots movement of sort of uber techies anymore. There's serious people who are ploughing serious money into it, basically because it gives them an umbrella to shove all their tools up there. So, you know, but okay. But if we take Moore's law, and I'm using the very common version of Moore's law, which is everything kind of you get more bang, twice bang for your buck over every 2 years. If we go back to 1989, 25 years ago, 2 to the power of 25. So all of our systems and platforms, we should be getting 5,792 times the bang for our buck. We've got more computing power at our fingertips now than we ever had before. Everything's going to start moving faster. So for those of you who actually ever read business journals, there's a well-known one called the Harvard Business Review, HBR, and the top-rated, won an award for the #1 article by a guy named John Cotter, who's a management guru who's been around for a very, very long time, was this article called Accelerate. It got the best reviews and, as I said, it won an award for being the best one in 2013. And what I loved about this article was this quote. You know, the hierarchical structures and organisational processes that we have used for decades to run and improve our enterprises are no longer up to the task of winning in this faster moving world. That's pretty much a definition of DevOps. You know, it's all about making us give the ability to do things faster. The way the siloed ITIL prints to, you know, waterfall way of doing things isn't good enough anymore because we live in a faster moving and changing world. And this is in, you know, the premier business journal in the world from one of the premier management theorists, you know, who is alive today. So, you know, this stuff, this whole idea that we have to change the way we do business, we have to change our organisational structures, we've got to worry about things like Conway's Law, we've got to think about how we design our organisation so that it impacts the way we design our software. You know, these things we've got to start thinking about, and this is coming down from the management layer. So you can take these kind of Harvard Business Review articles and start dropping them on your management desk, and he's going to go, ooh, you Harvard Business Review, ooh, it's fantastic, you know, it's something I must do. You know, I'm sure there is probably I think there is actually an Accelerate book, so you can go and buy him a copy of the Accelerate book, and then a week later you can give him the copy of the Phoenix Project, and he'll think it was all his idea, and, you know, he'll adopt it and then give you lots of money. So there's another guy, Jack Welch, superstar CEO, and this I think is another sort of key factor, this concept of if the rate of change on the outside of your organisation, you know, the environmental change that's going on, exceeds the rate of change on the inside of your organisation, your customers want new stuff, more stuff, different stuff. If you can't keep up, you are the 21st century equivalent of a buggy whip maker. You're going nowhere. All you're going to do is become increasingly irrelevant to the market. I must keep stepping on the thing or something. Oh, I don't know. Give me a second. Shift F5. And we're back again. Okay. So a few of you have probably seen this slide before. So what does speed look like in a modern world? How fast are people deploying? What does continuous delivery look like? So I actually nicked this from my friends at Dynatrace, but cars.com, 300 deployments? I can't actually see. 300 deployments a year. So that's more than one deployment every business day, if you say there's 220 business days in a working year. So for most organisations, that's mind-blowing. I'm working with organisations that are still deploying quarterly. You know, the idea that I can deploy every day, every month, every week, let alone every day, is still mind-blowing. So then we come on to Flickr, you know, 10 deployments a day. At that point, we have to be talking, you know, automation. You cannot deploy at that sort of rate and have, you know, a weekly change activity board as mandated by the ITIL process and the change manager, where 25 of you get in a room and 19 of you are sat on your laptops continuing to do your work, just in case you're actually, you know, you're required to actually speak while the change manager argues about whether or not you've actually filled in the form correctly because they're completely incapable of understanding the content of the change. So, you know, I might be a bit cynical, I don't know. I might have just been around for a long time. Okay, so then we move on to, Etsy, 50 to 60 deployments a day, and the final headline figure, which everybody argues at, but it's quite cool. Who thinks does anybody know what the figure is for Amazon? You shut up, Skelton. You shut up, because you saw this presentation before. Yeah, the answer is every 11.6 seconds. Which is, that's across the entire Amazon estate, not just the bookstore bit or the AWS part. So it's a massive, massive estate with, hundreds, possibly thousands of developers doing all sorts of stuff. But it is just driving me nuts. Yeah, sorry about that. I promise I did send the slides earlier. So, we've all moved into agile development. Agile development, has one major benefit, is that it works. So the success rate of agile is significantly higher. So it's 42% versus 14%. So from an operations perspective, I'm getting 3 times the amount of shit thrown at me from you developers as I previously had. Most of the time before that, I was sitting with my feet up on the desk because you guys couldn't ship shit. So, but now you guys are going, you're thinking, suddenly I'm the bottleneck that I wasn't before, because you guys are shipping 3 times, you're being 3 times as successful. Everything's happening faster. I've got to keep up. There's competitive advantage to be had from keeping up. So, again, cloud makes everything faster. I can spin up machines in hours and seconds, or in seconds or minutes if I want to, pick a standard cloud image. Unfortunately, that leads to the dreaded cloud sprawl, the same thing we had in VMware sprawl, that we had those zombie hordes of machines that suddenly you find your Amazon bill is £20,000 a month, and you're going, but I'm only running 10 servers in production. Yeah, but there's about 30,000 servers in dev that nobody ever shuts down. So there's all this really, really cool stuff happening in there. So in order to solve the cloud sprawl, I'm going really, really quickly because I know the pizza's getting cold. In order to solve the cloud sprawl problem, we have infrastructure as code, we have Puppet and Chef and Ansible and SaltStack, and woo, yeah, great. We can do all this fantastic stuff. Now, again, I can now spin up and configure and manage boxes much, much faster. Everything's happening faster again. And then we have my favorite slide, the rise of shadow IT. Dun, dun, dun. If you're not really familiar with what shadow IT is, that's basically where, Dave from accounts is an Excel guru or a Windows guru, and he knows better than the help desk. And, if somebody's got a mate who does HTML, and they can just get something done for you, and, you don't really need to talk to the IT department. The problem is, shadow IT is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, if you were to go to your CTO and say, if we do a better job, we can get an extra 35% on your IT budget every year, do you think he's going to like that idea? Do you think he doesn't really want the guys in marketing spending, a third of his budget every year? Of course he doesn't. So as I hit Shift F5 again, so, they want this opportunity to be able to claw back this part of their budget, because so much of this stuff is happening outside of the IT budget. And the thing the next slide, which is the one I find really, really interesting, is PwC do this digital IQ survey and look at who's doing IT really, really well. And they seem to be showing that there's this correlation between the people who do IT really, really well and the negative correlation between the people who appear to be doing IT really, really well from the outside and having great success in digital innovation and all that sort of stuff. And clearly digital innovation is a problem in the Windows multi-screen space. In this particular case, IT controls less than 50% of the corporate technology expenditure. So we kind of went from 35% in the other slide, which was the average, to where the top 100 performers are actually only 50%. So what's that really saying is, if you want really, really good IT, don't let your IT department spend the money. That's not a good message for us. Do you know what I mean? Or conversely, it is a good message if you want to adopt a DevOps model and you want to align your business teams with your line of businesses and devolve your responsibility and have dev and DevOps teams under each section of the thing, and just give them the chunk of the money and say, right, you guys want to get on with it, you've got a team now, crack on and do it. It's not the efficient way that we've all been seeking in the thing, but if time to market speed and acceleration starts to become more important to efficiency. So rather than focus on cost saving, I'm focusing on actually getting my product to market quicker and making more money, then maybe that's the way forward. So in summary, this is the message you're trying to get across to your boss. Oh no, trust me, you're screwed, thank you. And on that note, I will pretty much give up because the pizza's really getting cold. So fail fast. I apologise. In summary, business and technology environment have changed. We have to move forward. We need new IT models. Business and DevOps and continuous delivery are these new IT models. DevOps, it's a mindset, not just a technology. Focus on that. We're the DevOps guys. That's what we do. Web application management. We're hiring. Please come in if you want a job, because we need some Linux systems administrators and Windows systems administrators. Thank you very much.